I'm
You
not
didn't
used
say
to
that
saying.
right.
I'm not used to saying. Do a rouse check, but yeah, you don't do a rouse check for this. Confuses me. Canadian Syrup, also known as Lieutenant Kind in our STA game, playing Stephen von Liechtenstein.
Hello.
Possibly currently called Aiden. Astrid of the Cajun by Night server, and Patricia of Oxford by Night. I'm sure there's a longer list for you and your exploits, because there must be at this point. Ash from Dark Druid Productions, and Nara of London by Gaslight, playing Cadence Rochelle. I know there's a longer list of your exploits, but you'll probably not forgive me if I say them. And last but never least is Bully from Tablegoth, and Aldrich in London by Gaslight, playing Eric Crane. Yes, I am Fastcar. I am finally making use of the card that you gifted me. We begin. In the Shadowlands, the ghostly echo of the land of the living, referred to as the Skinlands by the denizens of the afterlife, Wraiths. The newly formed Wraiths have made their way to the only landmark they can see, a deserted old American station, where a woman in a distinctive top hat and contrasting clothes stands. They all gather on the station just as a mysterious, old-fashioned steam train with the number 13 prominently featured under lights on the front face pulls into the station. With little choice left to them, the Wraiths board an old-fashioned Pullman parlour car that bears the name Victoria on its side. As they step inside the car, they take in the car's once decadent decorations. The gilt-edged mirrors mounted on the wallpaper walls, once used to add a sense of spaciousness, now reflect the Wraith's own images back at them, constantly reminding them of their new state. The large windows with hung lace panels topped with tasselled valances gaze out into the eerie blur of the Shadowlands passing by, both somehow representative of the past and present. The electric lamps that hang on brass tubing from the domed ceiling seem pale and dirty. The lush and ornate features of the car seem oppressively decadent. The Wraiths step upon the carpeted, covered floor, passing by 4 other passengers, the only others in their car, and find a table with velvet-upholstered chairs facing each other. They place themselves down in their seats as they catch sight of an old-fashioned smoking room in the end of the car. The train bursts into life, and eerie steam kicks up around the window, briefly fogging it. As the Wraiths adjust to the sense of motion, a door at the end of the car opens, as a conductor wearing an old-fashioned uniform talks to the other 4 passengers before approaching the Wraiths at their table. He smiles and says, "Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Conductor Stillwell. May I see your tickets, please?"
Do we have tickets?
No.
It's a
Tickets?
pleasure.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can go.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the sensational Cedra. But I apologize, we don't have tickets.
As she said, I'm sorry. I must have dropped it or forgotten it somewhere. Do you have extras? Maybe? Perhaps?
If you have none, you may purchase one from me for 1 obolus each. That does not include services, though, however.
Very well, fine. And Beatrice, who just normally keeps to herself, just kind of unzips a pocket near her breast and just basically, flings it at him.
What services?
We have a dining car. It's very popular with guests.
Hmm.
I assume
And
you have someone that can make change, possibly.
Change?
Oh, Mother of Christ, she'll just kind of cross herself and say a couple Hail Marys, and then just go back to just being very much to herself. just kind of staring out the window.
This dining service that you have, is there a bar? A stage?
course. A stage? On a train?
Oh, a stage?
Yeah, a small stage.
We could always make a stage.
We could. I would absolutely love that. Can we make a stage? Is that possible?
I wouldn't recommend it. The ferryman would not be happy.
Oh, come on. I'm sure he would love to listen to some music, enjoy some good dancing. We'll make it worth his while, I promise.
You must be newly arrived here. A newly made circle, in fact. A circle is what we call the group of wraiths that travel together. I may be able to answer some questions you may have, but first let me start by telling you, and I take only a small amount of pleasure in saying this, you're dead. You're all dead. Passed over. This is the afterlife. Or, well, this part of it. There may be more to it. I don't really know. It's just my job to check tickets. Hang on a moment. And pull out a gold pocket watch and check it over. Grimaces. I'm sorry, did you have any questions?
Dad, I was just performing, and with so many people clapping and adoring me. Are you
Good way
sure?
to go.
You may want to adopt a new style. I suggest deadpan.
I don't understand.
Well, you see, deadpan is very much like anti-humor.
I'm just like panicking in the corner. Touching myself, I'm like pinching myself. Do I feel pain when I pinch myself?
Mm-hmm.
Feel pain. There's no way. I can still feel. I see. Do I smell? What do I smell?
Don't give me that line.
What do I smell?
Well, if you're sitting next to Cedra, you'd probably smell her perfume.
Thank you.
What does your perfume smell like?
I would smell like cloves and spices from the Middle East.
Wow. It's a very interesting smell you got there. Where'd you get it from?
Oh, where did I get this? Bangladesh, I think.
Exotic. See, I can smell. I can feel. I can see. How can I possibly be dead?
Sir, if we give you what you ask, will you go away? Allow us to continue with our travel?
Of course. I'm merely here
not
to
really in
collect
a
tokens.
humorous mood at the moment. I've got places to be. Whatever joke this is, suggest you try with a different card.
Where are you going?
Guess what places do you have to?
A well-earned vacation.
With music, singing, dancing. That kind of vacation?
Is there some sort of currency I can give you to ask less questions of me?
Curious, trying to make conversation.
Considering we're dead, I don't think you get much choice in your vacation.
Quite obviously are not dead, ma'am. Not to be confrontational. I'm gonna pat around. He's asking for some coin or something?
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to find one of these,
If you
whatever they're called.
check around, you'll find your wallet, and inside you'll find some heavy set slate coins. A volley.
Beverly just more did it out of habit from life. She's used to throwing money around to get away.
Wasn't this interesting? Aren't you supposed to pull this from behind our ear or something? Is that the joke?
I'm a
Either way.
trained conductor, not a magician.
Do that exact same thing.
Oh god, magicians are the worst.
He's just gonna hold out this coin to the man.
He'll take it out, and finally he'll look at the one remaining passenger, which is you, Stephen. Sir? Ticket, or would you like to purchase one?
I do believe you've already stamped my ticket.
Do you have the ticket?
I already gave you my ticket, and you've already stamped my ticket. I don't know why you ask of it twice.
If you'd rather, I could bring the ferryman out. You don't want to meet the ferryman.
I don't think I need to worry about meeting the ferryman, as I already stated. I've already given you my ticket. You have stamped my ticket.
And that.
I think you
It's
seem to
really-
forget who you're talking to.
Oh, darling, you can try to run, but you're meant to be here. Just
Oh,
smell
I
your
know
hands, smell your clothes.
where I am. I think you all forget where you are.
Oh, even the dumbest of these hellhounds will be able to find you. Brimstone has nothing on what you carry, and it just snaps out.
I see. He pulls the ticket out and hands it to the man.
Man will print off 4 more tickets from an archaic machine. The noise fills the carriage and stamps each one of them, handing them back. I'm sorry. We are just passing into the Pacific time zone. When we arrive at the next station, you will be unable to change cars. It's a...
As soon as he says that, I'll be standing up. That means I can change now.
If you wish.
Leaving so soon.
It was a pleasure to meet all of you. And he's not even going to wait for the rest of the spiel and just start looking around it. Ideally, more empty cars.
No empty cars.
Yeah, he'll be gone for a few moments checking that, but I'm sure he'll have to eventually come back here.
You will find, and your character's going to love this, the car immediately behind you. Shit. The car immediately
Full of
behind you is known as the circus car. It's extremely dark, and as you open it, you hear a menacing, evil laugh. The car going the other way, towards the engine, is another Pullman car. It is even fuller than this one, but this one's quite empty. And the man is carrying on. Please excuse me, I must inform the other passengers of this. As you are new, you may wish to take some time to talk amongst yourselves. It seems Lady Fate may have places where you all hear. She rarely acts without a reason. Perhaps you may wish to converse with the other passengers too. Just because they're dead doesn't mean they don't need social stimulation. He smiles at you all, gives you a warm nod, proceeds through the carriage.
When he's leaving, Eric would probably be coming back at this point.
Oh, welcome back.
Other cars are full. One of them's got clowns. I'll just take his seat.
Clowns? How exciting. I'm actually going to get up and look for the clowns.
Know any of them? I'll follow her.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Clowns? So on a train? I wonder, maybe we're traveling with a circus. There's the entertainment.
Home.
Ooh, I wonder if there's contortionists, other dancers, aerialists. Ooh, I want to be an aerialist. Oh, it'd be so much fun, don't you think?
They are quite talented.
Very. So do we find this?
They can be a little uppity sometimes, though.
You enter into the circus car, finding it extremely dark, filled with cobwebs and the sound of maniacal, evil laughter. Would you like to step forward?
I'm gonna lean over and be like, that's not. Unless it's a horror house? Horror house? Spooky haunted house. Scary things. In this, scary clown?
I mean, I've been in haunted houses before. But no, this doesn't seem like the circus I remember.
No, you're right. I'm getting a very strange vibe from it. Not good feelings. No, definitely not the bee's knees. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna walk over back to where we were.
I'll consider stepping into the train car for a moment, shrug, and go back.
I'm gonna sit down and be like, so, yeah, clowns. Yeah.
Not to your liking.
No, not very fond of haunted houses very much. At least not by myself.
There weren't any clowns there.
Seeing as we will be traveling together, and you seem to have a lot on your mind, would you like to introduce yourself? I'm going to be hearing you for the next however many hours. I'd like to know who I'm listening to at least.
Well, I'm Cadence Rochelle. It's a pleasure to meet you. I love to dance and perform. What I live for.
I am Beverly of the DiMaggio family. Not the sports family, the one tied in with Maryland and those of what you think, but in the local sense, I'll let you think what you will, but I mostly helped my husband and his family maintain lodges, ski resorts, of the dot in Denver, primarily.
Sounds like honest work. I'll sort of say that, shooting a side glance to Cadence. What type of performance? What does Cadence look like?
So she is wearing a short red dress that has black ruffles and frills coming off the bottom, with a black boa, pearls, and a feathered hat. Her makeup, red lips, with red eyeshadow, darkly outlined eyes, very thin, dark eyebrows, gloves. Very from 1920s vibe. And you asked me about my work, yes?
You said you're a performer? What
Yeah.
kind?
Oh, of the dancing kind. Yes, I love to dance. I love music. And occasionally giving a little tea, if you know what I mean.
You were a dancer
I
once.
think I might. Got plenty of girls like you, not too far from the warehouse. What does Beverly look like?
She's, her hair's down, but it doesn't really fall very far past her shoulders. If you look at her eyebrows, everything like that, there's no real signs that she really very much dyes her hair, anything like that. There might be like a few signs of Botox, like maybe she might have had a nose job or like some other work done, something like that. But her hair is kind of like that, a chestnut that's like been in the sun a little bit too long, so kind of like a blondie sort of brunette. Her nails, they're painted in a very nude color, but they're cut very short. Just very like refined, sort of like Ralph Lauren sort of clothes and everything, expensive, not too flashy and everything like that, but expensive. not a lot of jewelry. Doesn't really draw attention, but again, expensive. Makeup very muted, but again, expensive.
Oh, Eric. Look at these girls. The way they decorate themselves, carrying themselves with wealth and status. But look at their hands. You can tell they've never worked a day in their life. Not hard labor, anyway. Not like you. You've worked hard to earn where you are. These girls? Look at that one. The dancer? Oh, not a thought in her head. Carefree. What a joke. Hard work comes with discipline. She doesn't know. Show her.
I'm gonna get quiet for a moment and just a real intense look at Cadence for a moment and sort of fish around in his ear. Anyone else hear that?
Hear what? A voice arises from the darkness of the corner of the room. Are you hearing things already? We've only been here for 10 minutes.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I've had to deal with guys like this before.
You seem to know what's going on here more than most. Already had a ticket and whatnot. What's your story?
Well, been to many places, seen many things, done many great things. But yet, I'm here. Why? I am in the same boat as you are. I do not know all the answers, but I intend to find out.
So what was the last thing that you remember?
The last thing I remember. Well, I was driving to another meeting, speak with a bunch of board members on a bill that I've proposed in the house. When all of a sudden, the driver lost control. We went careening over the embankment. I could just feel the water fill my lungs as I slowly drowned.
Politician.
Yes. Some may see me as a great leader, others may see me as the worst snake possible. That is up to you to decide.
What does Steven look like?
Well,
He looks like
He
the kind of
initially
guy
has-
who's got blonde, messy hair that would get trapped on a zip line holding 2 Union flags and then somehow get voted in as the fucking Prime Minister!
Not Boris Johnson.
that's my cousin.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that one.
Well, he's wearing a dress suit, nice black dress shoes, navy blue dress pants, but he has a brown tattered coat over top. And at the time it was cold, so he was wearing a hat with the scarf over top. And you can't see much of his face, but he's about medium build, 6 feet tall.
Like a cross between a bandit, politician, which I guess could be one and the same. And that leaves you, ma'am.
Complicated. Unlike everyone else here, I guess I remember how I died, although perhaps I shouldn't share it yet. Cedra is an American with a lot of exotic additions. So she's got dark hair, dark eyes, very Middle Eastern type eye makeup, jewelry from exotic lands. She's wearing a long magician's jacket that's got lots of hidden little pockets. She is not wearing a top hat. But you might imagine she might normally wear one. And of course, if you couldn't tell, at one point I've been a magician. Although I've been lots of other things, too.
Performer at heart as well.
Of course.
Great to meet you.
The
Your
people,
outfit.
although I have not been a performer, most women have to wear many hats. I mean, look at how many women that were royalty and not even that actually ruled the roost when the men thought they did.
Cedra does have
Well,
one
and
more
some of those.
distinctive feature. Check your PM.
Oh, I guess I'm so used to being around my kind. I assume it's okay to say here. And I smile, revealing fangs.
And that's when Beverly will take her hands out of her designer coat and take off the glove and just show you one hand that just, you know, like the tips are just decaying and then it like bleeds down. She's just like, let's just say I married into a family that readied me for the river Styx or whatever the fuck it is that waits for us. And she'll just put the glove back on, hands back in her pocket.
Cadence is just looking around like, do I have something weird about me too?
Am I the only one not in whatever joke this is?
You have fangs? Where did you get those? In your hand. So unique. Is it a prop? Has to be a prop, right? For your performance.
At
What
that,
about the fangs after I died the first time?
yeah, Beverly takes the glove back off and she will actually trigger for body horror, but she'll actually just like grab onto a part that's kind of like rotted and just like tear down to where it's like, you know, more natural and just like her finger like twist it around and just like yank just a little bit and then just kind of like flick it out of a window that's just open a little bit.
Is she
just
bleeding?
like, I don't know. Storyteller, is she?
Fucking good question.
And she's just like, I learned at a very young age about sacrifice. How much do you yet have to learn?
I figured it out. We're in a movie. We're on set. This makes sense. There has to be a camera somewhere around here. I'm gonna start looking.
Honey.
I'm gonna start saying out loud, "You do not have my permission to film me."
Public place, you don't have no expectation of privacy. First Amendment.
Eric doesn't know that.
There's a reason Beverly
It was the
stays very
second
quiet in public and says there's certain things she does.
God forbid, Eric, your family saw you right now on camera, on TV. You'd make so much money, and all they'll do is leech off of you, your wealth, your hard-working cash, just like they do time and time again. Those greedy little good nothings.
Eric's gonna suddenly just sort of stand up, just like bolt upright, fists clenched. Look around for a moment, clearly getting ready just to storm out of this cardigan, but then realizing there's nowhere else to go. Just sort of breathing heavily, just slowly sit back down again.
Are you alright?
No, I don't believe I am.
What do you believe?
I believe it's taking a much-needed vacation. I was shown to my cart. And I don't know. You tell me. You all seem to know more about this than I do.
I wasn't really given an instruction manual.
Well, you said you died once before. What was that like? You must have more experience than all of us.
The first time was much more painful. I could feel my body dying the first time. I could feel my organs disintegrating and all of the blood just draining out of me. And I felt this very great hunger, this need to feed on human blood as soon as possible, or else I would waste away. This time, it was pretty, a bright flash. Not bad, really.
I'm sorry, but that sounds more like the books that my kids read.
Dracula. You're Dracula.
But I've never met him personally.
So are you like Dracula's meant-to-be bride that you just have yet to encounter him, or what's
If
your
I
story?
remember right from the books, his meant-to-be brides weren't vampires yet.
Oh,
But yet you possess it, do you not?
these.
Oh, we could take decades going back into the mysteries of kindred and the beginnings of Cain.
I know Kindred, but I'm familiar with Cain. I went to Cataclysm class and everything. I know that he was the first murderer. I'm sorry, Kindred? I did not come across that in the Bible.
I'm sorry, vampires. Vampires.
Again, my second daughter is not here. That is out of my realm. That is more in her realm.
Okay.
I wish I had my books with me. I could give you very interesting literature that would teach you all the history that the Bible leads out.
It's actually very curious because as much as the religious woman that I am, I'm also a woman of the books. I'm more agnostic than what I had to lead on. Family, you understand.
If I could get my hands on some books, I wonder if there's a library where we're going.
Yeah, where are we going? That's a very good question.
How rare is the Book of Nod here?
Book of what's he?
Oh, don't worry.
I know of the Land of Nod because again, extensive Bible study, but no, I don't know what you're laying down, girl.
Again, it's just more of that the Bible left out. If I could get my hands on that book, that is some quality knowledge.
Covered me intrigued, and now I have questions on other matters. Questions for, I assume, when we're not on this train.
I mean, books are great, but books are not music. They don't speak to me the way that music does, or move me the way that music does.
There is something to it. There are physical things that come from the earth that, sound has resonance. Over time as humans, we have developed such an attachment to performance because of the emotional resonance that our ears have been trained over time to learn. So I understand. Like I said, I haven't been a performer or anything, but in learning business, having restaurants that are not attached to it, you have to have an understanding beyond the surface. There's still a business, there's still things that you have to do to place an environment, not only to make the guests feel comfortable and put out that image that you want, but to bring in the things that you need. To
You
bring in
know so much. I mean, you must know where we're going and what's happening here then.
Not necessarily. There just seems to be a lot of overlap. Let us just say I have not been wishing for my death, but I have, in a sense, been looking forward to it. Many questions are about to be answered, and I am looking forward to the new ones that I developed.
Well, I wasn't looking forward to mine. I wasn't ready. There was so much I needed to do. I just started my fame, receiving great love and adoration. And then it was gone. Just like that.
My death was a noble sacrifice. I saved all of Oxford, if not England, if not the world.
Oh, I see. And you two over there? I know one of you sounded like you drowned, correct?
Sounded like what?
Someone drowned in water? I heard that
Steven
right?
did.
Yes.
Car
I
accident.
apologize. I'm very bad at names.
It's not the only thing you're bad at, I get the feeling.
Well,
Oh, no, that's just uncalled for.
a lady never speak. If you like to find out, definitely not for free.
I've met a few like you before.
Oh no, surely you have not met anyone like me. I'm one of a kind, sweetheart.
The price is typically the same, so I can't see the difference.
Wow.
Politician, of course you've paid your fair share.
I do my duty, and with it comes rewards. Some may think of them as less than appealing, others may agree.
Politicians aren't that special either. I've been with a few myself. You're all the same.
You may not have been special there, but now you are here. You may have done the work that you have there, but here, oh, darling, you got dues that you have to pay, but I can promise you, it's worth it. You have a destiny far deeper than what you could have understand, and here am I to guide you. Don't you worry, you'll be hearing from me again.
He snaps his head side to side.
Hearing something?
No, just had a familiar voice in my head. I could have sworn. I don't know. It's nothing.
Maybe we all can take a moment to listen to this. Nothing.
Well,
Y'all have a beast here? In
Uh,
fact,
Oh,
the
what?
beast seems oddly quiet.
well, I mean, I
Beast.
don't hear anything myself, so.
Well, that seems to be the only oddly quiet thing in this room. We can all learn something from this beast.
Beast? Sounds a bit scandalous. A beast within all of us, yes?
I'm moving on before I
You
need to
don't
fucking
want
go
to
early
do
for a
this.
cold shower. There are 4 other passengers in the car with you if you wish to talk to them.
What do they look
So
like?
now I'm beginning to think I might need a cold shower again if that happens.
We're not alone.
It's CS's scarf, isn't it?
Who are the other 4?
There. Oh, so much. There is a serenely wrinkled-faced, ancient white-haired woman wearing a faded dress with a floral pattern, carrying a large black purse which she holds in her lap. A small, seemingly nervous man in a very bad suit with a thin mustache, slicked back hair, and a large gold ring on his left hand. which he is playing with relentlessly. He'll probably go blind. A man, seemingly in his late 50s, a little paunchy and fatherly. And finally, a young, mousy girl, with short blonde hair, wearing a Dead Reagan's punk band t-shirt, artfully torn.
I'm gonna go over and be like, hello, hello.
Which one?
Oh, so good that there's other people here.
Which one?
The punkette looking.
Okay. I'm sure that's going to go really well.
Hi, hello, hello. Yes, so glad that there's other here. I'm Kate.
I'll wander
And
over
you
with
are?
her.
I'm Cynthia. You can call me Sin. Everyone calls me Sin. I love
I
what
like
you're
your
wearing.
name.
I like your fangs. They're really cool.
Who? Which one? Me?
Well, I love your dress sense. That's so cool. Retro fashion, so in right now. But her fangs, they're badass.
And I'll just run my tongue over them.
Yes. And for also be spicy.
Maybe we should
do
use
you
more
have-
appropriate words among mixed company. I'll say to this punkish girl, sort of gesturing towards the older woman.
What do you
Wasn't
think
there
this
an older
is?
woman, or did I miss that?
There is an older woman.
No, there's no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. It was an in-character confusion. I thought it was a shift confusion.
No.
Out of character for a second. Did Ash freeze for anyone else?
Yeah,
Yes.
she went hardcore with Sombra. I mean, we're in Oblivion after all.
Oh.
She's also a mime, I thought.
I'm not getting involved in that conversation.
Yeah, Ash,
So
you
do
might.
you?
Oh, there she is.
Everyone think happy thoughts.
If you've said anything in the last minute, Ash, you cut out.
I'm confused by what was happening. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can.
Now
we
we
can.
can.
Okay. I don't know what was going on.
We didn't either.
Okay. Can you see me? Can you hear me? We good?
Yes.
Awesome. So I was just asking the punkette, do you know where we're going? What was her name?
Sin.
Sin.
Sin. Yes. Sin. Do you know where we're going? Where this train is leading us to?
Totally.
Oh, good. Can you tell us?
Train station.
Of course.
Yes, a train station. Where, dear?
Next to the tracks.
Yes, but town, name, location, whereabouts? You don't
Look, I
know,
don't
do
know.
you?
I don't really know. I
No.
was just glad that someone talked to me.
You lied. Ah, unforgivable. Can't believe this. Useless. I'm gonna go to the next person. does anyone else? Gonna go to the old lady. Excuse me, ma'am. Hello. Yes. Do you know where we're going? By any chance? We're very lost.
I hate myself for having to do this voice. And I really have to.
She will.
No.
Oh,
Worse.
you got me excited. French?
No. French is later. I don't know if I can keep it straight. I can't look at you while I do it.
I have like anticipation. Come on, what's going on?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're asking me.
That was pretty good.
Offended.
Do you know what's going on around here?
Well,
by any
it's
chance?
obvious, isn't it? We're all dead, and we're crossing over to the other side. I have exorcised the demons.
Good on
Almost made
you.
such in character.
Well, at least you seem a little bit more lucky than the rest of us carrying our own demons. But, so the other side, you said?
Well, it's
Where's
obvious, child, isn't it? We have crossed over from the mortal plane.
Wait.
Why am I doing this so
Okay,
well?
So heaven. You're heaven? Is what we're talking?
Well, I would imagine if you're on the train with me, you must be going to heaven. I was very, very pure in life.
I'll still be standing next to Sin, and I'll whisper in her ear, God, I hope not.
You think we're going to meet
Yes,
God?
well,
Why would God need a train?
We are actually
I've already
dead.
met God.
Then good folk like me and you, ma'am, are on the same part with her, and I'll point to Cadence, and that thing pointing to Beverly. Something ain't right. People like us and people like them don't go to the same place.
I'm sorry, did you refer to me as a thing, or is there something about me that you're referring to as thing?
I'd offer to shake your hand, but I'm not sure it would survive contact.
I was loved in life. I am going to be loved in death. And why wouldn't God love me? I performed and made his people happy. Everyone's born in his image, right? We're all his children. So I made his people
Typically
happy.
speak to young ladies like this, but ma'am, it's quite obvious you are a harlot of some sort. Well, Bible's pretty clear about where you'll be going.
To be fair, as I discussed with Miss Thames over there, let us say, Mary, not necessarily the mother of God, but the one that took care of him, was a harlot herself. So, the Son of God probably wouldn't have actually been able to been taken care of were it not for the oldest profession in history. Thank you very much.
Well, according to U.S. law, it's illegal, and that's important.
Oh, U.S. law, yeah. Should I also tell you the stories about how when my son was serving for the U.S. military, when he was building wells in Africa, the UN came in with their vans and put locks on the wells and told them that the impoverished city in which they were building them for had to pay to access those wells, sir.
You probably should be telling that guy about that.
I don't know what
I
fake
point
news
to
you're
Steven.
spouting off, but I ain't got time for it.
Wow, this wrench is really taking freedom of speech to a whole new level. Put her in her place, Eric. Show her what freedom really is about.
Ain't right to strike a woman, or whatever that is. He will say that out loud to himself.
And Beverly just smirks and uncrosses her feet and just steady on the floor. Hands folded in her lap. Nothing else.
We're dead. Okay, well, I'm sure the devil might be a lot more fun and God just can't handle me. It's fine. So fine.
Do you really think that they truly accept you for who you are? Do you really think that they will accept you for what you do? No. No. I don't think that's actually going to be the way you want it to be. They will see you for who you really are. The one you fear the most.
I beautiful. They'll see me for. I make my own path. I do my own thing. No one tells me a goddamn thing to do. She looks very real. Very rattled. And then she stops for a moment and realizes no one was talking here. No one's mouth is moving. Was that the sound you all were hearing? I think I heard it too.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Out of character storyteller, at that moment, may I, let's see, activate my single point in Spectre's Prestige, which I believe is the Wraith communicating directly with somebody else's shadow? If I'm reading that correctly?
Yep.
Wonderful. Would that communication be a psychic endeavor? Because it's not clear on that. Let's see, that's on page 231.
Yeah, I think it's just 1 point.
Yeah, I only put 1 point into it, but is this like a psychic thing that happens? Or do I verbally have to like speak to the individual of the shadow that I'm trying to communicate with?
I think you've got to do it verbally. Because telepathy is probably another power later on.
Noted. I will pocket that idea for later then. Thank you.
You still have at least 2 other people you can talk to in this carriage.
Continuing on what he was saying, though, Miss Cadence, you heard a voice as well? What did it say?
Well, not very nice things, that's for sure. Very untrue, not nice things. Did yours do the same?
Are they all Malkavian here?
I wouldn't necessarily say untrue, but certainly unkind. Here's something sinister is going on here. And if you're being plagued the same as I am, well, it's good to know. Help each other out with this if we can. I didn't quite enjoy being spoken to like that, by whatever that was.
Neither did I. Oh no, I don't like anything in my head. No. Was it in my head? So you didn't hear my voice? No?
No, ma'am.
I didn't hear yours either.
What about the rest
Who
of
else
you?
heard?
I would specifically talk to the 4 other people. What's your experience been so far on this train?
Wow.
Anyone in particular? Pick one in particular. So I'm not doing 4 people at once. And I'm not going to
Let's
say
do
the
the
voice.
man with the playing with his ring.
I've heard those voices, yes. We each have one, usually. How new to this are you?
Very.
It shows. I have a theory. Would you like to hear my theory?
Of course, we're all ears.
I think we all have unfinished business. Quite literally in my case, anyway. All I need is that one more big score. And then we're gone.
Well,
I'm sorry, what was
Gone
that?
to where?
gone where exactly?
You know, that farm up north where your dog went.
The farm?
You know, stuff up this
you would
mortal
never
coil,
catch me there.
die, snuff it.
So dirty. No. It's not my business. Not my line of work.
Not my line of work. Who do you think you are?
I'm Cadence Rochelle. Amazing dancer extraordinaire. That's who I am.
You
Don't
have
you
already
forget it.
introduced yourself.
Whoever-
Yeah, good for you. My
Is there
name's
something
Louis.
more? Something more you wish to tell us?
And this is the voice. Big beat again. I'm fine. Strong. Dependent. Motions are for the weak. Anyway. So heaven, yes, that's what we're talking about. Afterlife. Moving on. The afterlife, heaven.
We've all got something. Surely there's something. It's quite funny. I was on the run in life. I find myself on the run in this afterlife. Quite thrilling.
Okay.
I'll sit down next to Sin and just kind of say to myself, I knew a dancer once.
Kind of dancer. I love dancing. Tell me more.
Well, I love to move in any way that I can to the music. Really love to put on a good show, if you know what I mean. What about you? What kind of dancing do you like? I'm actually gonna like touch his leg, and I'm like,
Oh, you're talking to
you
Lou.
know,
Oh, I'm
rubbing
definitely
up,
not going
like
to
so
win
kind
there.
Whoever Beverly's shadow is right now, they can just like feel like the bile in her throat and just she doesn't like harlots.
You were saying, darling.
Didn't have much time for dancing. Too much time on the run.
Oh, that's
I managed to fit in
unfortunate.
both.
Right. Music. We should have music right now. And I'm gonna use mood music. Is this something everyone can hear? Let me look at this. I want to evoke happy, energetic emotion with this. So what do I do?
What's the name of the power, please?
Mood music.
Okay, spend 1 pathos. Roll charisma, keening, difficulty 7.
Charisma and
Oh,
keening, you
sorry.
said, right?
2 pathos. And
Oh, it's
manipulation
2.
and keening at difficulty 8.
manipulation and keening? Okay. Oh, no, where am I? 3, and then... Don't mind me as I'm squinting really hard to find keening.
Can't believe she doesn't know how to play this game.
My god.
I will make a shout out for yourself. I'm pretty sure the storytelling with me using this voice would appear.
Keening is under Arcanoid at the bottom.
Yes, you've got 5
On
dots
the left.
in it.
My god, listen, come
The
on.
button's on the bottom with the other things. If you do the bottom,
Listen, okay?
I'm not face
Don't-
palming at you at all.
Okay. Alright.
I just need one of those showers that's, sub fucking freezing temperatures today.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
And I got 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. I think I did that right.
Did you roll any
We'll
ones?
go with that, yeah. Nope, no ones.
Damn. So, that will fill the carriage with positive emotion. 5 successes is... That's going to last for 5 hours.
Yeah. Yay! So I'm dancing, I'm bopping, I'm having a good time.
You'd probably see, despite himself, like the slightest of like foot taps coming from Eric.
Yeah! Yes! Up, everyone, up! Let's dance! At least while we're here, if we're dead, we might as well have a good time, right?
I'll reach my hand out to Sin. Would you like to dance?
Are you asking?
I am.
Then I'm dancing.
And I help her up.
I am not going to dance in real life because it looks like a Muppet that's fallen out of its wheelchair while having some sort of spasm. So you just picture someone dancing particularly well.
Beverly would hear, this can't be right. They're making a mockery of this entire thing. You have a firmer grasp on what's going on what you need to do. The rest of them don't matter as much as you. But we know that already. And of course someone like this couldn't get in your way, but this is ridiculous and it needs to stop immediately. No one understands the gravity of the situation and the important work we have to do. We're gonna let this little floozy have all the attention here. Look how important she thinks she is. It's not right. Oh, she's got another shadow talking to her from off screen.
Quick, Cadence, keep dancing.
Is Sin and dancing with Cedra as well?
Yeah.
What's the other person we haven't talked to doing? The paunchy dude.
He's probably tapping along his feet as well to this music that's suddenly emanating. You know, he doesn't seem to be offended or anything like that. Just sat there, waiting.
We'll say Eric took a seat next to him for this to sort of give them their space to do whatever. So what's your take on all this?
They're young. They're young. I mean, you've got to allow for the youth of today. I'm myself going to look after my daughter. She's away at college, in New York.
Family is
Yeah.
important.
I've just remembered this guy.
Fucking liar. You know very well what family really is, Eric. Tell the truth to the man. His daughter's leeching off him for education. Really? Something she can't get herself into with good grades if she's that smart? Come on, Eric, you know better.
Eric is going to get up, look at this man, and then to do anything but release this bubbling anger, he's going to attempt to dance with Cadence.
Oh,
Probably the most stiff, uncomfortable thing you've ever seen. Thumbs tucked in the belt line and just sort of a swaying thing. Occasionally
line
doing
dancing.
a occasional glance towards the sky, then just trying to shake. He is on a vacation. He is to get
Yeah!
rid of all of these terrible thoughts. And all these things. He's here to escape that, and he doesn't want that bringing him down. Even if he's dead, like everyone's saying, he's not gonna. He's not gonna act on that.
Body. Look at the way she's decorated. The jewelry. Where do you think it came from? Definitely not her own money. She comes from wealth, you can tell. Her daddy's money, in fact. Just another parasite, and you're dancing with her? No. Push her away, Eric. Push her up against the wall and tell her just how much of a gold digger she is.
I think he's gonna try to punch a window. He tries to aggressively dance sway to get rid of it a little more. It doesn't work, and he's just going to probably punch very close to where Cadence is. Like, at a glance, it would seem like it's going right for her, but just right past her face. Ideally, one of the outer windows, because he's just kind of curious to see what the hell's outside, too.
That's
You're gonna punch and look at the same.
going to be an automatic success. You won't be able to break the window, but it will leave a foggy mark where your fist is impacted with it, and your shadow may have 2 angst. That'll.
Eric! World! Did you just try to hit me?
Yeah, excuse my language, voices. No, I would not do that.
Better have
Please
not.
continue with your singing.
How can the music's gonna turn dark? And like frantic, chaotic, like orchestra messing up, DJ scratching.
I
oh
was
yeah,
with you until
now
the
it's
DJ
getting good. I say to Sin.
You died.
They're
Your
forming a
voice-
mosh pit!
Yep.
Your voice told you to punch?
You would not understand what I've been through or what it's trying to claw at. Please don't worry yourself with it. I would not actually hurt you.
Certainly hope not. I'm gonna sit down. Maybe
Yeah, let's all just sit and think for a while. I like to sit and think.
I didn't think. Sure. Okay.
Sin and I will still be dancing.
Okay.
Even with the weird chaotic.
She's a punk chick. This
True.
is her music.
True. You right.
So how do you feel about VWs? Seriously, this is her thing.
Who?
Cedra. This is Sin and Cedra.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who was talking. I mean, like cars? Yeah, sure.
I mean, the only reason I'm even here is my VW became one with the freight train.
Oh, so you have a close thing with trains.
I prefer car. You know how
There's something
rare it is to
romantic
have a
about
car?
trains. Yeah, I don't drive myself. Never learned.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I wouldn't learn, but, you know, parents made me.
Yeah, parents are always getting you down, aren't they?
Yeah, fucking parent. I feel like we're in an episode of The Young Ones right now. Pretty
How
establishment.
young is this girl?
She's a young woman. She's probably late teens, early 20s.
Okay. She's not underage.
No.
Thank you.
Not going there.
Good.
You want to ID her too in the process, just to be sure?
Hey, he kind of did that to Nitro.
Fair.
It's not like Nitro can stand on his own 2 feet, though.
Yeah, he can't stand up for himself, so.
Anyway, let's get this rolling.
Let's get this rolling. What have we been doing this entire time?
Well, I'm not going to take this sitting down. Anyway.
Train, get the roll on that. Oh, wait. Sorry. Wrong
So,
character.
what do you know about trains? It's how inexperienced she is. Do you think trains are
I've
cool?
ridden on my fair share. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, trains are cool.
Till they crash into your car.
I mean, it wasn't so much of a crash as more of a strange melding.
You still like
I didn't know that was
trains.
a feature. Well, I haven't got much of a choice if I want my car back. I don't know how that's going to work. Do you think there are petrol stations here?
Do you need gas in the afterlife?
That's a good point. Be careful saying that, though. We don't want to start causing some sort of panic and have everyone mass buying petrol for no reason here.
I don't care. Like I said, I don't drive anyway.
Why don't you drive?
I was too busy studying to ever worry
What were
about
you studying?
driving.
Studying's cool.
I was studying magic.
Oh, magic is cool. Like, what kind of magic?
Like-
Did you make bunnies
like-
appear out of hats?
Oh, if I had my top hat, I could do that, but that didn't seem to make it over with me.
Huh.
But also, like the real stuff.
The real stuff?
The real stuff. Magic is out there. It's real. In fact, I know this sounds silly, but I bet this train is magic.
I mean, we're on a train in the afterlife that's travelling through a land of literal shadows. Makes sense. So magic's pretty cool.
I'm assuming I know the answer to this already, but as I'm talking to her, I'm getting closer, and I can't think of an eloquent way to say this. I'm trying to smell her blood.
Okay. And it's just going to keep... You won't be able to smell any blood.
Like there's
Strange.
nothing there.
Yeah. But at the same time, you won't feel the beast clawing at your
Urge.
skull. Yeah.
But old habits die hard.
Oh, Die Hard was a great movie.
Die
That
hard?
time of year. To be fair, I've been able to buy eggnog in Arizona for the last month and a half. Praise. Praise. I want eggnog year round.
Oh, you're one of those people. Oh my. God help us.
So
Right.
when I realize that she doesn't smell like blood and I'm actually don't have any desire for it, this attraction that I've had to her just kind of fades and I just kind of wander away.
Yeah, she'll just sort of shrug and she'll be like, yeah, that happens. Then take her seat and be fairly mute the remainder of the journey. And timing-wise, we're going to end that scene, which was scene 1, and take a break.
You said RP!
Yeah, and I'm really happy you did. Oh yeah, oh yeah. This is working
That's how
out
you tell
great.
us in STA. You're like RP, RP, RP. So
Honestly, I just want more of Cadence dancing at this point.
We're not doing very helpful RP, that's the problem.
It will help. We'll be right back. To the new arrival. Mr. Francis. Fancy seeing you here again.
Good evening, dear Mr. Stillwell. How are you?
The same as always. The train is running. We're on schedule. There's nothing to complain about. And yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well this night. Still riding the train, ever onwards. It's good to see you.
It's wonderful to see you again, Mr. Francis. May I, see your ticket, please?
Oh, yes, of course. And I will hand you the ticket. Have you possibly seen a short brunette woman board the train tonight, Mr. Stillwell? She would be of slight frame.
Mr. Francis. And
Yes,
Conductor
yes.
Stillwell kneels down next to Mr. Francis as he's explaining. I'm afraid that tonight is not the night you have been waiting for, and it has also been quite some time. Have you possibly considered the fact that she is not coming? she has not crossed over?
Mr. Stillwell, why must you say such things? I know my dear Priscilla is okay. And I must continue searching for her. For she would never give up on me. How could I ever give up on her?
I'm sorry, Mr. Francis. Just don't like to see you suffer is all.
Oh, I'm doing all right, Mr. Stillwell. She might have had her hair pulled up in a cap. It may be a long coat. She would have been difficult, maybe, to tell. Are you sure you have not seen anyone at all?
I'm sorry, Mr. Francis. So far tonight I personally have not, but perhaps some of the other passengers have. It might be worth asking them.
Then Francis will look over the shoulder of the conductor and sweep about the car, the faces he might see. Yes, you are right. Perhaps someone else has seen something. The more eyes, the better, right, Mr. Stillwell?
Of course, Mr. Francis. And Conductor Stillwell will stand and put one of his hands on Mr. Francis's shoulder. That's the spirit. You should never give up. But I wish you luck, as always, Mr. Francis.
Thank you, Mr. Stillwell, and I'll reach up and pat his hand that is on my shoulder. I do appreciate your concern, and I do believe that you will need this, and I will pull out my ticket.
Thank you, Mr. Francis, thank you.
Oh, we've done this so many times now, haven't we, Mr. Stillwell?
And yet we always end up losing ourselves in conversation first.
It's always wonderful to see you.
And it is our pleasure to host you once more, Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis,
yes?
should you feel the need for a drink, or perhaps a hot meal, please go to the saloon car. I'll let you have something on me.
Mr. Stillwell, you are always so kind to me. Thank you, and would you please continue to keep an eye out for me? I know it's a lot to ask, but if you wouldn't mind, it would mean so much to me.
Of course, Mr. Francis. Should I see anyone answering to the name Priscilla that matches your description, I shall come running.
You will know her. She has the kindness of 1,000 stars, and when she speaks, it just makes the world better. I'm sure you wouldn't even need to see her to know it's her. She's just the most kind and wonderful person you will ever meet.
He sounds like quite the woman. You are a very lucky man, sir. And he'll hand you your ticket back.
Thank you, Mr. Stillwell. You have yourself a good night.
Good evening, Mr. Francis. Look after yourself, won't you?
The same to you, Mr. Stillwell.
Stillwell leaves the car, and the man, known as Mr. Francis, begins to ask each person in the car if they have seen Priscilla, giving each of them the exact same description, despite the fact that they would have heard him each time before. And each time he receives the same answer, indicating she hasn't been seen. By the time he reaches the circle of wraiths, he is still able to maintain a polite facade, though his face betrays a slight edge of desperation. Excuse me, have you seen a woman about 5'7", mid-length wavy brown hair, brown eyes, long maroon velvet coat, and a hat maybe? Answers to the name Priscilla?
I haven't, but please sit. Tell us more about her.
She is the most beautiful woman you'd have ever seen. Just looking upon her would make you feel nourished. Her eyes are shaped like Cupid's bow itself. Her skin perfect. Eyes that you could just stare into for eternity and feel yourself wrapped up in them like a warm blanket on a cold winter's day. Her voice is like a choir of angels. It wouldn't matter what she is saying. You would be mesmerized. She is perfect. I miss her so.
As he's saying this, I will have taken his hand in mine. She reminds me very much of someone I once knew.
Did you meet her? Did you know her? Was her name Priscilla?
No, she's perhaps my own Priscilla. Her skin was caramel, her eyes like almonds. The most beautiful dancer I've ever seen. But no, her name was Fani. Is Fani. Really.
What a terrible name.
Well, that's rude. It's the most beautiful name I've ever heard.
Stephen gets up as he can hear the agitation in her voice and sits down beside the man. I couldn't help but overhear. This doesn't appear to be your first time on the train. Is that correct?
Oh, no, of course not. I've been on the train many times. I promised Priscilla I would meet her, and the train will take me to her. She expects me to arrive by train.
And this Priscilla you're waiting for, she is already at the destination?
I assume so, if no one else has seen her.
I see.
All I can tell you is
And-
that I promised to meet her at the station. And meet her at the station I shall. God, I can
Which
relate to this
stop
character.
I'm
are
also-
you looking? Oh. Go ahead.
Go over when I hear this. So poetic. I loved the way that you described her. She sounds like a beautiful woman, such as myself. But wow, you're meeting your love at the train station. That's wonderful.
We were to be married in spring. I was riding the train
The
to
spring
Omaha
train.
to finalize our plans. Fortunately, turns out there was a Pullman worker outraged at management for suppressing their employees, and he'd sabotaged several cars, including the one I was riding myself. The brakes failed on a crucial turn. The train jackknifed in the middle. I was trapped in the wreckage, pinned under a wheel assembly. I could hear panic screams of wounded and dying people all around me. I constantly strained, trying to remove the metal, but it would not yield under my own strength. It appears I hadn't even noticed my own serious wounds. All that mattered was meeting Priscilla at the station. And then death took me. I remember my last thought was how I would leave poor Priscilla devastated by my absence. So I keep riding trains.
Sorry.
I hope
As
Do
he
you think
talks,
she's still there, waiting for you?
it is the only hope I can cling to.
I know the feeling of being sabotaged all too well, fortunately. I really am sorry for what happened to you.
That's the thing. Especially now that you're here. Buck the fuck up, Buttercup. You're of yourself. You're wasting so much by waiting on someone that you don't even know how long it is, that in a place that you don't understand how time works, in a place that you don't know which way you're gonna take, that you don't even know what's true and what's not. I'm sorry. All that I'm seeing is someone bound to fail. Buck the fuck up, Buttercup.
I've searched over 100 years for her at every station. Through every train I have found, and I shall search for 100 more if need be, and 100 more after that.
Hey, it's romantic. Even in death. It's the most romantic thing I've ever heard. I would hope that there were people waiting for me, wanting to see me, missing me, even though I'm no longer around. What's so wrong about that?
It's selfish, for one.
About wanting to be loved and adored even when you're dead. You don't want to be forgotten.
But you're not talking about the one that's waiting for you in this place. What they're sacrificing, they could go off and they could become so much and solidify things, and yet you want them to become stagnant and as you expect them to be?
I brush
I don't want them
a
to
tear
be
off my
stuck.
cheek. I brush a tear off my cheek, and then I look to see what color it is.
Water.
What color is it? It's water. And then I say to Beatrice, haven't you ever been loved? Haven't you ever loved? Haven't you ever been in love? I made her run away.
Her real life shadow has caught her.
I think a shadow wants to speak.
I say to Beverly, haven't you ever loved? Haven't you ever been in love?
Sorry, it's difficult. My dog's barking right now. Delivering. Bad timing. I'm so sorry. But she's just pretty much
Are you
sitting
okay?
there
You
like,
sound a bit rough.
yeah, because dog's barking. Because there's a delivery. I'm so sorry. Bad timing.
Cadence is gonna look really sad when she's playing with her boa, and then she's gonna start singing. I wanna be loved by you, just you. Nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you.
Did you make that up yourself? I've never heard it before.
That just kind of came to me. Just kind of how I was feeling.
What an amazing voice you have.
Thank you.
It reminds me
I
of
just-
Priscilla's.
I bet she was wonderful. And I'm sure she's waiting for you. Or at
But
least
well, hope so
remembers
after the
you.
amount of money I've spent on fucking train tickets.
Yes, that too.
And how have you managed to take this train this many times?
Well, I paid for a ticket. How else? How did you get on here?
Well, in all honesty, for most of us, the answer is unknown. We know we're here, but some of us don't know why. But to others, it seems that this is a regular occurrence.
There is much to learn about the Shadowlands. I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you for listening to me.
Before you go, Miss Priscilla,
Yes.
you think were the roles reversed that she would wait for you?
I'm quite
you always-
confident of it, sir.
Why? What makes you so
Yeah.
sure?
We are in love.
You can love someone very much and they can still just take from you without necessarily returning much. This constant back and forth, this lingering here, this... I've been on this train for moments and I cannot wait to get off. It's maddening to think that you just stay on here for your own accord for someone who might not actually be worth it or care. It's over. And I think maybe the best thing for you to do is just let go.
Mr. I'm sorry, what's
I would
your
like-
name? Oh,
I would like to use a thing. Without really realizing he's using a thing. Excise. I can remove a want from a target.
uh-huh.
I want to
yes,
see
you
if
do.
through this sort of
'Cause you
pessimism
know-
and cynicism,
You know
if he
your
can't
family.
remove Mr. Francis's desire to wait for Priscilla.
Because you know your family wouldn't be waiting for you, Eric. Your family probably have forgotten you by now. All they have left of you now is your insurance. They're well off without you.
I am remembered. I did good deeds. I did what I was supposed to do.
Oh yes, you did such a good job sacrificing yourself for your family. But do you see a monument in your name? What do you really have to show for it? They're just running around with your money, doing whatever they want. You were just a stepping stone to their success.
No, I was family man. I was a pillar of the community. Everyone knows that.
Family, the parasite. Don't you forget that.
He puts a hand on his shoulder and gives him a slight shake. Who are you talking to?
You really haven't heard anything.
Would I be asking this if I did?
You seem like the slippery type.
What do I have to gain to lie about knowing what you know in your head?
Any for your thoughts?
In this frustration, would the excise work or happen, or do you want me to roll?
If you want to do excise, that is going to cost you 3 pathos, or D'Artagnan, whichever you prefer. And you're going to roll manipulation and intimation,
Let's do it.
and it is going to be difficulty 9.
Yeah, this could be interesting. Let's do it. I'll spend a willpower. Let's roll some dice. While we're here. Initially, intimidation, 7. Nothing, and even 0 since I use a willpower. This damn
Not
voice in my head.
successful.
Look, no more questions. At least not of me. I don't know shit. I ain't gonna. Whatever you're looking for, I'm not the one that's gonna give it to you.
Mr.
I just want to get to our damn destination.
Mr. I didn't catch your name, sir.
Crane.
Mr. Crane, I am ever so sorry you have never been loved.
I
it's never
am
too late.
and have been loved. None of your concern.
Loved for your money and what you can do for other people. Don't kid yourself.
While this voice happens, he's now gonna just look at he's gonna look at Steven. Steven keeps asking him about this voice, and Steven's something off about Steven. And the fact that he keeps asking and now this voice is happening, he's almost starting to believe he has something to do with it. And he just gives Steven a long, hard look.
Mr. Francis
You have
will
something
just
you want to
lean
say?
over. He'll say, "Many things can change here, as it looks like you're experiencing." He'll nod his head and go and find a seat at the end of the carriage.
Steven looks at Crane. Is there something else you're wanting to tell me?
Is there something you want to tell me? There's something you know that I don't. Something you're keeping from me, maybe. Or causing.
Causing? You think that for whatever reason, based off of the circumstances that we're in, that somehow I'm responsible for what's happening to you?
You're strangely calm in all of this.
Did you forget what I do? One cannot be rash in their thoughts. They must be calculated. They must be thoughtful in how they convey themselves. Because one misstep is all it takes, and your whole career's gone. But for you, what is your goal here? I understand you're on vacation, but the way you keep asking me in that tone, I feel like there's the sense that you think somehow that I am in control of the situation.
Somebody's gotta be in control. And I know it ain't me.
You? Hello, hi. Why were you all being so negative to that man?
I was being realistic.
We're dead. That's
So he should
reality.
move on.
But that's what gives him hope. Do you not have hope anymore? Does anyone have hope here?
And
Well-
obviously
What,
I
do you,
do.
what is your hope for, Miss Cadence?
Same as him. That I'm not forgotten. That I am loved and adored. Not just in the living world, but here too. I mean, if, it's gonna be a while before we move on, there's many other people to meet. And to get to know and, well, be adored by.
Oh, darling, don't you hear? She's the soldier you've been searching for. Just listen, okay? Okay, there are pawns, and then there are marionettes. Which one are you going to be? She thinks that she is what you are, but darling, let me tell you, I am here to stay. That you are here to stay. She is not. She is but a stepping stool. Do what you will and make me proud. You will remain.
He slowly turns his head over to Cadence and looks her up and down. How do you expect to continue with your, I guess, ever-increasing passion to entertain people in this world that you do not even know exists?
I mean, you saw that man. He had longing and maybe even a great sadness for the fact that he couldn't be with his loved one. I can keep him company. I can sing, I can dance for him. It may be temporary, but it'll still maybe put a smile on his face. Everybody else. It's something better than nothing. I still have something.
You have something. And what would that something be? You're in this place where, back home, maybe you were something. But really, you're nothing here. What can you possibly hope to create, to foster, to be better than any of the others here? No. I think you know where you are. I think you know what you will be here. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Do you really think that by being nice to him is going to make
I
a
am
difference?
something.
You might be something, but what are we doing here? Where are we going? No one seems to ask the right questions, and that's the frustrating part.
Well, that lady said we were going to the afterlife eventually, or passing over to the other side, heaven, whatever you want to call it. It seems like it's going to be a journey, and at least we might as well do what we can on this journey. You know, experience what this side of the world has to offer, right?
Well, this world, we don't even know what it is. But I intend to try to find out more.
Let's explore!
Well, I don't know if dancing our lives away is the way to explore, but by all means, you carry on with your meter. I'll do what I need to do.
Maybe another song to pass the time.
Okay.
As they get up and start getting ready for another dance, I go over to the end of the cart and sit beside the gentleman.
Mr. Francis?
Yes. Mr. Francis, may I sit with you?
Of course. Please. He'll close his book and look at you. Is this about Priscilla?
No. As much as I'd love to talk more about her, I feel like I am curious about why you keep taking this same train. Where are you getting on this train?
It's not the same train. There are many other trains that operate here in the Shadowlands, but none quite so unique as the Midnight Express.
The Midnight Express?
This train?
Yes. And what makes this train so different?
Oh, so much. So much. It arrives when it is needed to arrive, where it is needed to arrive. Not many trains are considered neutral grounds in the Shadowlands. No other train has ferrymen aboard to ensure that neutrality. Even the hierarchy respects the neutrality of the Midnight Express.
And this neutrality enforced by the ferrymen, sorry.
They might be merry, I don't know.
I take it on other trains it is not the same. It is a no man's land, if you will.
Well, look outside of the window. You can look outside the window. And you will see an extremely strong storm. The train itself appears to be travelling on tracks upon water. The water is heavy, choppy. There's rain pouring in, and you can see off in the distance what appears to be lanterns, shadows of figures.
Who are those shadows?
Best not to think about that, really. They're called spectres. Save the galaxy. No. That is what happens when you let that voice you hear take control.
So you're saying that you understand that there is more than just us inside our own heads.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Understandable, but perhaps to someone that may not fully understand it at this time. How do we go about controlling this voice?
You can't. You must learn to exercise self-control. Not give in to your own baser instincts.
And these basic instincts have carried on from our previous lives?
Of course. Sometimes these dark and wanton desires change over time here in the Shadowlands. Sometimes they remain the same since the crossing. Everyone is unique.
And yourself, do you have a voice?
Of course. It is considered somewhat taboo to talk about this voice in such open terms.
Do you find me invasive?
Honestly, yes. It is something extremely personal to everyone.
Understandable. I know it's not always easy to talk about things that are personal to all of us, but that's how we form a connection. For myself, I have ambitions, I have wants, needs, desires, but in the flick of a switch, snap of the fingers, it's all gone. And now it's a matter of finding out, how do we get to where we need to be? And that my question is, how do we get to where we need to be?
I think you have me confused for some sort of spiritual guide. Did you have one in life?
Perhaps I'm not wording it correctly. You take this train quite often, correct?
Correct.
And it's the same train over and over again.
Yes.
How is it that when we arrive at our destination that we do not fall in the same fate that you may have?
Because fate is different for each one of us. She watches over us, the Lady of Fate. She seeks every individual out, and she is aware of what your fate is to be and places you in the right path at the right time. It is still up to you and I, in such situations, to make the appropriate and correct decisions. But asking about the Lady of Fate is asking why the wind blows in a certain direction. One simply does not understand fate.
It's true. As they say, fate is a fickle thing. Is it a fickle mistress? One does not
I'd
simply
be careful
attempt
saying
to...
that, as she may hear you.
So, if I understand this correctly, in our world, fate is something we believe as a instinct or a phenomenon. You mean to tell me that this fate is a physical being?
You are new here, aren't you? Yes, the Lady of Fate is quite real.
And this Lady of Fate is someone that we will ever meet, or is simply around us?
You can say.
Hmm.
I've never
see.
met anyone that claims to have met the Lady of Fate personally. There are legends spoken of in Stygia, the city of the dead. The founder, Charon, commanded to speak with the man, no, has spoken personally with the Lady of Fate, although he has since disappeared, is my understanding. If he ever existed in the first place. Sometimes separating myth, legend, and reality is very difficult in the Shadowlands.
Sounds a lot like like someone I personally knew.
Stephen looks up and realizes that people are close by and listening in this conversation. With fate, is your fate to meet your Priscilla?
I hope so.
And until you achieve this, you are forever bound to be on this train?
It is not in the way that you think. I have chosen to come to this train on this night. The train has also deemed itself my fate at this point. I search for Priscilla with earnest, not because Lady of Fate has told me so, but because my heart has said so.
I'm gonna clap my hands and be like, see? See? There is something here for us. Fate. Destiny. Whatever you want to call her.
Dear, I think we have dallied quite long enough. Now, they have the arrogance of speaking as if they have any fucking idea what is going on here. I think it's time for a formal dressing down, don't you think? Everyone seems to think they're either on equal footing, or they're placing some sort of importance with this forlorn lover type. They need to understand that we, you, my dear, are the one to be respected. They should be asking you questions. If they want to know anything, you have more to tell them than anyone else here. And this magician who claims to know someone as important as fate, you saw the things, right? Simple parlor tricks. We've dabbled in real things. She's a fraud. I think it's time to expose her. To start establishing the pecking order, of which, of course, you, are on top. My dear, is this thing on? Why are you stalling? I told you to do something. Now how about you do it? Oh, you need a little extra motivation, don't you? I would like to use Freudian slip. Spend an angst point. Force the Wraith to make a sudden involuntary action or quick unedited statement. If possible, can I have this action be to tug on Cedra's fangs to pull them out? To expose her as a fraud?
On that note, if I may, if you want me to make a roll noticing this, but due to the life that my Wraith had, and the, what is it, her Spectre's prestige basically says something like very like catty triggering, you know, to Miss like Red Dahlia here, you know, to just make her fall deeper into that, to just basically be like, hey Wraith, alright, like, hey Shadow, I fucking see you, let's fucking make her drag her fucking self sort of thing. So she'll just like, as she, my Wraith sees Flapper Girl fall into that, she just looks into her and goes, oh, darling, I'm so sorry. Is the stress getting to you? Have you had too many Johns that have been a little bit asking a bit too much of you lately? Oh, darling, I'm so sorry.
I'm confused. I can use the Freudian slip is on you, correct? To make you do something. You're
the Freudian slip is on Ashy's character, but my character.
No, it's not on Ash's character. It's to make you pull at the fangs of the vampire Cedra.
Oh yeah, it's just my particular Wraith and the I forget what it's called, but basically like the clan that she's part of. She basically like taps into something like shit that like not only she saw in life, but like things with her shadow, like she sees what she's happening, and she's just like saying something kind of like passively to make that individual fall even more into like the fury or whatever it is, to make that act of pulling on the fang. Like maybe she doesn't just pull on the fang, but maybe it becomes perhaps a bit more violent because
you're the one doing it. Ash is not doing
like,
anything.
I think she's trying to combat the role. I'm not entirely sure. If you're trying to do something different than what the Shadow's trying to do, you're trying to combat. And I think you have to do a role.
Enhance.
If I'm not mistaken.
I'm trying to enhance what your shadow's doing.
No,
basically.
this is your
This
shadow.
is your shadow.
Oh! Okay, I got so confused.
Storyteller.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I thought Evelyn was my shadow. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Was she there?
No.
Sorry.
So yeah. That's why I said your name before that. It's that was all in Beverly's head. Using Freudian slip to get Beverly to prove that Beverly is the most important one here, the one destined for something greater, and to start by exposing this other supernatural.
Okay, got it. I see where I got my wires crossed. I'm so sorry. God. In that case,
So essentially, you make a willpower roll. Difficulty 7.
willpower is gonna be.
Well, Freudian slip is a failure.
Oh yeah, automatic failure.
No, he didn't roll enough because it's difficulty 7. He rolled 1 success, but also rolled a 1, which took away the success. So overall, he has no successes.
So it didn't work, basically.
Wait,
so
I thought
couldn't
Beverly's the one who has to resist it.
Well, you've still got to roll.
Do I? It says to resist the thorn, the wraith must
Yeah.
make a willpower roll. I don't have to
Yep.
roll anything.
Yep.
I just have to
Right.
spend angst, which I'm
Yes.
spending.
And that's
So-
just straight willpower, right?
Yep, Beverly, you can actually do that on the sheet as well. Just a willpower roll at difficulty
Okay.
7. First time we've all played this. Very sorry, everyone.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's the only thing with a button.
Yeah.
Where's the willpower reroll button?
3.
They don't exist.
How many
in this.
permanent eggs do we have? Do we have 4 now since we switched scenes? Because did we start with 2, or am I thinking of the other thing we started with?
You started with 2. You should have increased yours by 2 for the change scene.
2 when we switched in. Okay, sweet. Just making
And
sure
I've
I'm keeping
also
track.
awarded you
So
some more.
some temp, yeah. Alright, so I've spent 1 of those permanent points for...
And
That's 3 successes on my willpower roll.
that's perfect to resist. You only needed
Damn.
2 to resist. However, insane. The shadow can also spend their own willpower if they want to increase their own successes. Just throwing that out there.
It's not a roll for me. I just spend an angst.
Yep. Oh no, you've got your own willpower.
So I don't... so it's not necessarily a combat roll. If you
Well,
want me
the,
to...
the shadow has its own willpower. Yeah. You can buy another success with the shadow's willpower, basically.
I mean, I can do that if that's a thing that applies here, sure.
Back on the red sheet. But then, because B20 versions of things, Beverly can spend more of her own willpower and get back on top as well.
You know what? Due to what essential clan she is, basically she's gonna ride the beast. She fought, and she's just gonna be like, okay, you win this time. This was fun. Let's see what you got.
Okay, that means you're grabbing at Siege's mouth. I'm sure this will go well.
If you guys in turn with character names, remind me of who that individual is, please.
Miss Hearts, aka the vampire.
Wonderful.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, at this point, she's taken her gloves off, let them in her pocket. So at this point, like, her hands go out and, like, they grab the mouth and, like, her 2 fingers go in, and it's one of the fingers to which earlier she pulled down and wrapped and ripped, and everything. And they just kind of, like, go down, like, sort of, like, in a gag reflex that's, like, to sort of hold, like, the tongue sort of down. But there's this, like, strength in her, and, like, she doesn't have that training, but there seems to be something in her that's giving her more than what she's able to, like, almost sort of try to will you to your knees with this pressure on your tongue.
Can I try to draw away? Would this be a combat type thing?
Yep. If you could do for me, both of you, strength, brawl, difficulty 6.
Holding my boa. Holding my boa.
So it's 1 dice per dot?
Yes. Just like VTM.
Okay.
Ooh, my shadow definitely knows my weaknesses. This is only 1 dice.
Yep.
Which is 0 successes.
Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 4.
Then and it could have been far worse.
I got 0 because I rolled a 1.
You can spend willpower for an automatic success, either of you.
Yeah, let's do that.
Heard you.
I like working with my wraith. Let's lean into this.
Okay. Burn a willpower point, and that
Or
will be
my shadow.
successful to Beverly, who is going to go for the fangs.
And I'll bite down.
And
You're
she'll,
doing it! Stick your hand in a vampire's mouth!
yep, she'll basically use that leverage of, basically, your vein is between, the very meticulous bones of my fingers, and just pull her close, like, right into her face. And just, like, has, like, this sort of, like, domineering stance of just, like, okay.
Many weapons, right?
I don't know.
That
Story
is-
Did I have brought weapons with me?
Your fangs are weapons.
Oh, true.
Do
Maybe
strength
she's just, like, basically
plus.
I'm feeling kind of bitey.
Yeah, strength plus 2 for your damage.
Do I need to roll to see if I hit? Or...
You rolled the amount of strength dice you have plus 2.
Oh, okay.
So if you that's difficulty 6 as well, and then you just add plus 2 to however many successes you have. and
Damn
that's
it.
your damage.
would I have had my Brainfold armor?
But I can reroll.
You can buy a success with willpower. You can't reroll.
But I can buy a success with willpower. Well, I want to buy a success with willpower.
Okay. How many successes does that give you?
Just 1.
So that's 3 damage. Beverly, you were saying.
Let me double check my sheet to see if that backs that up. Okay, no, she doesn't have that. Okay, I'm thinking of a different player. Okay, never mind. Due to how unfamiliar I am with Wraith, yeah, I'm just, rolling with the will of my shadow. Due
That
to
is-
what organization I chose.
That will be 3 corpus damage to Patricia.
Uh-huh.
Now the thing with healing for wraiths, it happens automatically. 1 corpus back every hour.
Oh.
But you will also
So she bit down on that freaky hand, the fingers. So is it the way I'm
Your
picturing
fingers,
this,
like, hanging
she
off now.
pulled- Yeah. Yeah. Like.
Yeah, because she, tore from, here to, knuckle, and then, twisted, and then, yanked it off, so there's probably, a little flab hanging just below the knuckle on the side.
your fingers will appear more ghostly or transparent in nature because of the corpus damage. And as that heals, they'll become more and more solid.
I'll run my tongue around my mouth to see if I taste anything. Particularly looking for the taste of blood.
Just vengeance.
Is everything quite alright?
Look, her fingers in my.
Wow. Yes.
You hands
Very
clutch.
intimate. No consent.
Not. No. I. Absolutely not.
No, you did. We all saw it. Why did you do that?
Yeah. You,
Not to the sense that the harlot is suggesting.
I'd advise you against speaking to her that way.
I had a husband that very much leaned into sort of things, so forgive me for having certain biases.
so you're insecure. Got it.
Oh no. Let's put it this
First you're
way.
insecure,
My husband,
and then you attack one of our members. What is going on?
not intentionally. Let's put it this way. I was a woman who was very much made to be a scapegoat, made to be put up in a very certain way, made to be a breeding cow, made to be a face, made to be a Jackie O, as it
And
were.
that's why you stuck your fingers in my
Yeah,
mouth?
none of this explains why you put your hands in her mouth.
It's just sometimes I see weakness in women getting together, and sometimes the toxins of the family that I was married into comes through, and I'm sorry, I work to be better. I promise you all. Sometimes
Sweetie,
it's just
we got women here, okay? You're not the only woman here that has issues in their life. That does not excuse you to stick your fingers in someone's mouth.
I know you did not just apologize to them.
and that's everyone could have heard that.
This is riffraff. They owe you nothing.
It is a game. And the game is internal. It is a game. You know, there are sacrifices. Fuck them, let them think what they will.
There's a bumpkin and a harlot speaking to you as if you're common. It's embarrassing. I would leave if I could, but I'm stuck with you, so present yourself accordingly.
But I wouldn't. We pit them against each other, do we not? We make them what they are supposed to be. We make them what they're supposed to be to put us where we are meant to be. Why be enemies when we can work together?
Whatever you're
are
doing,
one.
do it quick and save what little face you have left. Already lost your hand.
Well, do what you fucking will.
You alright?
You.
I'm.
Let's all just take a breather, alright? Maybe you deal with whatever you're dealing with. And he'll sort of turn to Caden, so maybe let's not stoke the fire either.
The train
I'll just
carries.
again run my tongue over my teeth while looking at Beverly and sit down.
Are you okay, Miss Cedra?
I'm perfectly fine, thank you.
I'm gonna whisper to Cedra, I would have done the same thing. Good for you. Disgusting. She did. Vile. Unhygienic.
Cadence, this is not that big of a cart, please.
Didn't even use hand sanitizer.
Oh, hand sanitizer, yes, because you just obviously want to always take the easy way out. You know that actually doesn't fully get you clean, right? It's almost like you're used to prison conditions.
And no sense
This is a
of
game
humor.
I used to play with my children I called the Quiet Game. Are y'all interested? Usually I enforce the rules with a belt, but I think maybe just we can all be quiet on our own.
A guy like
You
that
say
one.
bell, and I say cat of nine tails. Sir, I had 5. One I lost in the womb. You wanna try me? Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I can say it in Latin and more than that.
I'm very used to women and their words. You can prattle on as long as you just sit.
I can do much from one spot. Watch and learn, yes?
Sure.
I went 0 to 100.
I feel like the
Train.
music got really intense. Dun 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 from my mood music thing.
The train carries on into the night for several more hours without stopping. Some of the other passengers on board settle into sleep, as others seem far too awake to sleep, and instead amuse themselves looking out of the window, watching the strange scenery pass them by. Mr. Francis himself seems to be fighting off sleep as he nods off and jerks his head back in wakefulness several times over the course of the journey, before he is finally able to regain his sense and is just sat back with his book, sometimes watching over the carriage and its passengers. Anything anybody wants to talk to about at any point?
I would like to. I'm assuming that there's a little stepping in between the cars. I would like to step outside to get some fresh air.
Are you sure?
No.
No takesy backsies.
Follow through. Follow through.
Yes, and?
He can't do anything to
I
you.
wasn't going to the next car. I was just stepping outside.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Are you sure?
Sure.
Okay.
What could happen?
You step outside into the maelstrom. Do Dex and Athletics for me, please, to keep your balance. This can result in your death.
Hey! The
Just
earliest
start
I've ever
shaking
died. What was the difficulty?
That's fine. Difficulty is 6.
Oh, okay.
You are just about able to keep your balance. However, the maelstrom isn't raining just rain, and you feel pieces of acid and hot magma and lava dance upon your skin,
I was hoping for
impacting
blood.
inside of you. Roll 1 dice for me, please. 1 die.
Ooh.
And you take 2 corpus damage. Would you like to stay outside, or would you like to return to the car?
No, I'm going straight back in.
Okay.
Oh, when you take 2 damage, are you taking it out of the dot or the square?
For corpus. Is there a square for corpus? Oh, there is.
My sheet has a whole
Put it
bunch
onto
of
the
squares and a
square.
whole bunch of dots. 2 out of the squares?
Yeah.
Okay.
When she comes back, she's more ghostly looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Does she have
Oh, dear.
burns or anything on her at all?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Interesting.
you... So we could, like, as her ghost form, we can pretty much, like, see through her.
Not quite from
We could tell
2,
that the...
but she won't
Yeah.
look quite as solid.
There's definitely... Okay, there's definitely something up. Okay, sweetie, you... What happened?
Don't go outside.
What's out there?
Don't. It's dangerous outside. Don't go outside.
Okay.
What happened to you?
I stepped out in the hallway earlier and it was fine.
The rain
You
is
look
not
like
rain.
you saw a ghost.
You said the rain was not rain?
The rain is not rain. The rain is dangerous.
How dangerous?
The rain is pain. Falls gently in Spain. Okay, we're probably not in Spain.
That must have been some serious rain.
Don't go outside.
We're not talking about, like, raining cats and dogs kind of viciousness, right? We're...
Raining small droplets of death.
Mr. Francis.
You know.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Just.
No, please.
My girl was just gonna say, you know where I'm from? Acid rain. Kind of happens every now and then. Sounds like more of an extreme version.
You should go check it out.
I'm good. I died due to an avalanche in the Colorado mountains. I was taking care of the lodge that my husband and I very legitimately, mind you all, took care of, and it just so happened while I was taking care of duties around Thanksgiving time, avalanche came down our way despite precautions, and here I fucking am. So,
It sounds like you can take a little acid rain. Go check it out.
good. I'm good. I learned my lesson about Mother Nature. You know, you can't. You know, you can do all the protection you may be, but she gets you in the end. I am good.
Mr.
A lot of
Francis
lessons to learn.
stands up and approaches the circle that some stupid twat wrote his coterie. His footsteps being the only thing breaking the silence. And he says to you, I wouldn't try and change cars just yet. We are travelling through the Tempest right now, and it isn't safe, as your companion seems to have found out.
Thanks for the note.
I am...
And what is the Tempest?
Let's just sum it up as dangerous.
Are there any other legs of this journey we need to be aware of?
Most of them. But I have not come here to herald you with such grave news. I am sorry for my outburst earlier.
Your outburst?
It was not becoming of me to be approaching everyone, inquiring about Priscilla.
Well, you have
asked-
nothing to be sorry for.
You asked about the Tempest. It is a massive, rolling storm that permeates the underworld. That's the part of the Shadowlands we are currently in. The Shadowlands are filled with all manner of terrifying creatures. Most notable are spectres. Terrifying creatures that succumb to their baser instincts. The Tempest is a massive sea, filled with a roiling storm, the likes of which no living sailor has ever seen. And sailors have seen some things. Many a sailor came here on Michelle's heart and has died. It wasn't always...
I mean, it sank.
No, just that the seaman was brushed off of it. It wasn't always this way, though. From what I have learned, it was once called the Sea of Shadow. But after the third great maelstrom, the sea was changed into this constant state of disarray and was renamed the Tempest. Unlike a storm in the Skinlands, the storm that makes the Tempest is not made of mere wind, clouds, and water. Here it is made of broken glass, magma, nightmares, acid, burning plasma, and any other horrific substance you can imagine. It gives you a feeling of claustrophobia, like the very world itself is closing in on you.
And yet the train remains unharmed?
Of course the train remains unharmed. You may see what looks like people off in the distance out there, but they are evil apparitions, those that have let their shadow control them, their darker, pure, evil nature. The conductor, good man that one, is able to travel between cars. Most of the staff here on the Midnight Express are able to do so, but they are not the same kind of wraith as us. Most of them, it is said, have been specially selected to work this train by the Lady of Fate herself, if you believe such tales.
As a bit of flavor due to how, wraiths can see themselves, they can die at old age, but see themselves in their 20s. Beverly essentially goes from, like the Ralph Lauren and everything, like very muted, very rich, to very much kind of like, I don't know how best to describe it because I've been stress watching it lately. Riverdale, Veronica, how she's very like preppy and like the dark makeup that isn't like too excessive. She has the pearls and the muted jewelry is a little bit more extravagant, but still subtly draws the eye. But yeah, she just like basically kind of fizzles and becomes more of that, at that sort of speak.
I can see and feel that we are slowly coming out of the tempest for now. Perhaps an eye in the storm. I see off in the distance a way station of Stygia. This is the capital of the Shadowlands, built by Charon himself. I shall take my seat for now. I don't think the conductor would approve of us switching cars. After all, he has warned us about this. Stay safe. And he'll return to his seat. Is there anything you wish to talk about before you arrive at the way station?
Can we? I assume we don't sleep, correct?
You do.
We do.
Oh.
You sleep.
Yeah,
you
I'm
eat.
taking a nap. Yeah, he's just gonna sort of get in that lean back and sort of get nestled in his chair a little bit. He'll turn over to Cadence. If that one tries sticking her finger in my mouth while I take a nap, wake me up. And he's just gonna kind of put his hat down and just try to get some rest for the rest of the trip.
All is well that is right and wrong with the world, and so shall everything be. See you all fuckers in a few hours, I suppose, or however what time works. And she'll just turn on her heel and just find some little corner to sequester herself into for rest.
Stevens gets up and goes to one of those benches and maintains the same position that Crane does and slowly drifts to sleep.
So sorry, I just came back.
If you didn't want to warn me, you could have just said something and walk off.
What's going on? Oh, you said you were going to nap, right? And then
Yeah.
And go to nap
it's like,
and then
oh,
warn
I don't know
him.
how you can nap in something like this, but good luck. I will.
No, he asked Cadence to watch if Beverly tries to stick her fingers in his mouth to warn him, and then he went to sleep.
I'll extend
Congratulations.
upon that.
Okay, God.
Just to make sure you wake up. And then she turns into her own little sort of
Gotcha.
little chemical.
Congratulations, you've made it to Act 2 and a new scene. As the Midnight Express prepares to enter the way station, the atmosphere on board changes. Stillwell travels from car to car, announcing that all passengers should return to their cars, and the passengers transferring to Stygia should be ready. The train begins to noticeably slow down, and the sounds of the engine become heavier as the iron monster begins to come to a halt in advance of the next stop. The Circle look out their window, and as the train draws nearer to its stop, the compound begins to take shape. The first thing the Circle notice are the watchtowers, dark metal structures with what looked like searchlights scanning the darkness. Between the towers is a massive wall, topped with spikes akin to a fortress out of a Gothic novel, complete with ballistae mounted on the towers themselves. The locomotive itself slows to a crawl, as the massive gates grudgingly part open, allowing entry. Data goes like that. The legionnaires atop the wall follow the train intently with their crossbows. Eventually, the iron fire-breathing monster comes to a halt, and the circle can see a pair of legionnaires. Either side, that's Roman legionnaires, either side of the carriage, examining it from top to bottom. The blindfolded soldiers tap on the windows with dangerous, primitive-looking spears that look designed more to maim than cause a slow death, sending chills through the carriage occupants' spines. A distant, loud crash reverberates through the night, and they know the massive gate they entered is now shut, trapping them where they are with no way to escape if they need to. One of the passengers, Louis, stands up, fiddling with his hands nervously, and approaches the coterie. Oh, fuck off! Approaches the circle. This is all, very intense, isn't it? What do you think they want? I'd heard that the Legionnaires of Stygia tolerate the Midnight Express, but what about us? Do you think we're safe? You don't think they're here for us, do you?
Us being...
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care that much about you. I'm more worried about myself. Do you think they're here for me? Are they here for me? I've seen people...
Admire any of us to know.
I've seen wraiths like us die before. I try not to think about it.
Is there a reason they would want you?
Yes. Why are you...
There could be.
wanted?
Everyone has a past. Things happen that maybe, you don't have full control over. And you just so happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe you were doing something that might be frowned upon. Like sticking your finger in someone's mouth.
Are you saying that something that you did in your past life is coming to haunt you?
Do you think that's what they're here for?
If
Should you
ask
ask them and find
kids
out?
out in other orifices is more like feather girl over there, Okay, fine. Cards on the table. I'm a fucking mafia wife, okay? There we go. Dirty secrets fucking out.
I might have worked for you.
We don't care.
Yes.
Might have worked. Holy shit! Look at that! My best bit of acting.
Beverly just crosses her arms and stares at the individual harder. Not falling for it. Especially with what she just admitted.
Louis points out to the station house. Almost everyone in the car turns to look, just as 4 legionnaires, each bearing gladi, flank someone who is obviously an officer. Shortly after, he boards. The occupants of the Pullman carriage manacled he boards. I can't even read my own fucking writing next to the old keyboard. He boards part of the Pullman carriage with manacled thralls under the supervision of several legionnaires. You can see from where you are, they move a large crate into the freight car further down the train, after which 2 legionnaire guards board the freight car with it. The train hisses, and steam surrounds the carriage as it prepares to depart, and a large gate in front of the compound slowly, loudly opens, revealing the train's point of exit. As it starts to head off, for a brief moment, everyone in the carriage breathes a sigh of relief, until they realize they must once more traverse the tempest. Perhaps you made it to another scene change.
Um,
Hang on. Sorry.
Cadence is gonna lean over to Sandra, right? Sorry about name.
Cedra.
Siege. And she's really nervous, anxious. He talked about someone chasing after him because of something that he did in his life. Is this like a karma kind of thing? Like, do you think like things that we've done could come back here and get us?
Why? Do you have something to be afraid of?
So I just realized that voice that I've been hearing sounds awfully like my sister. And I just can't believe that I didn't realize till now. And me and my sister did not have the greatest of relationships. I mean, I did my best to support her and her endeavors. And she was an actress, I was a dancer, and she was amazing, just like myself. But I was very much in her shadow. And the fame got to her head, and she, our loved ones who have passed, are we able to see them here too?
I guess we just gotta see where this train takes us. And maybe think of making up for past sins.
Yeah, you think you should be understanding after everything that's happened. Yes. I mean, I just wanted in on what she had, you know? I wanted it too.
Oh, so now you want to play nice. Now you want to make amends with me. Oh, how pathetic this is. Do you decide, now when you don't know your own fate, that you come begging to me? That you think that somehow you can redeem yourself? Oh, please. You know what you set yourself out to do. You know what you want to accomplish. You want to destroy me. Anything else that I accomplished, you wanted to be better than me. You wanted to make sure that I never existed. Now, you have the audacity to fight like that for your redemption. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next.
Oh, no, she's not understanding. No, she's gonna find me here. She's gonna kill me. Oh, no. I'm just like pacing back and forth. No, she can't find me here. No. I have to hide. I have to go. I have to hide. What if those people were after me? What if she sent them? Oh my god. What am I gonna do?
Steven grabs Cadence by the shoulders and shakes her. Stop whatever you're doing. Get a grip.
What?
We don't
I
know.
don't think you understand.
Oh, I think I do understand. I think if everyone's true about what they're saying, if we all have our own little demon inside, we have to realize that maybe the time is due for some of us, but we don't know when that time is. We don't know who these people are. We just have to do the best we can to get through this.
And Beverly's gonna come, like, as the kind sir is saying that. Beverly's gonna come up right behind Flapper Woman and, in one of her ears just go, "Yes, dear. Think. Be meticulous. I might not have the best opinions of your ilk and not be ashamed to voice them, but think. You must be smart. You've come here, which have shown your worth. Darling. And as, she's, speaking in her ear, she's just, like, unknowingly, like, talking to her shadow to make her fall into this. She's just like, you gotta play your cards right. It's chess. Stack the deck. Women. We are powerful, are we not? And at that, she'll just step back. And that was the Spectre Prestige my Wraith was tapping into.
Okay, just play my cards right. Just play my cards right. Everything is fine. I am with you guys. You guys wouldn't let anything happen to me, right? You guys like me, right?
I won't let nothing hurt you. As far as I can help it.
Unless people keep sticking fingers in other people. I don't know.
The way I
feel like
see it,
we're little fish in a big pond now. Maybe it's best that we do lean on each other a little bit. See this thing through.
absolutely.
That's right, Eric. You need to save. She will be the one you save. Sacrifice yourself again and again and again. Do it. Don't let anything happen to her. Let her fall into your arms. Oh, my savior. My hero. Oh, yes. Do it.
He's going to look sternly at Cadence. You need to be able to look out for yourself too, though.
Yeah.
Don't want you thinking I'm just some... I don't know. I'm gonna get you out of all of it. There's gotta be somewhere else to go. I'm tired of standing around here.
And how do you propose?
Eric. Yeah. So now push her away. Why? You want to save her. Go after her. Of course, if you do, you lay down your life for her. And everyone else is just like, oh, just another loss. Another poor soul who just gave himself up for a whore. A harlot. Yes, please. It's yourself again.
While that's happening, Beverly's just like, you know, like there's cabin and there's levels and everything. She'll open as many doors as she's able to, you know, without pass and everything. And as soon as she stops, she's just like baiting. ETA, we're entitled to at least that much. ET fucking A, you fucking conductor.
Rest of eternity, I guess.
I'm gonna try to change the music to something calmer. Try to relax everybody. Maybe some smooth jazz. We'll go with that.
Oh, God!
She doesn't know Enya.
Is the bar open?
I think at this point, given time constraints, and the threat of soft jazz on the horizon, we're going to call it in.
No threat, it's the
part.
Eye is
There,
twitching
promise.
to go into the open bar.
Yeah, remember, you don't want to switch to cars right now anyway, if you can help it. We shall call an end to this one shot, which is turning into at least a two shot. Thank you all for coming and watching our first foray into Wraith. I'm sorry I was a bit all over. There is no easy way to do this game unless you know this game, so I had to do a lot of referencing as we were playing, and I'm very sorry for derailing it. No pun intended.
Oh my god, no pun intended from Shiver?
Whoa.
No, give me all the puns. That's how you
I gotta write
fall
this
in
down.
love with you.
That was his shadow talking.
Yeah.
Before this
who
goes off
is?
the rails,
There he is.
let's see. Cadence, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out. Apart from that.
Hi, I'm Ash Daniels, and I also play Jack Erie on Prince William by Night, Season 2 Night Shift, and Nora on London by Gaslight. And you can find me on social media as Shifter.
Blast from the past, I haven't said this for almost a year. Cedra! Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Missed being Cedra. I am Ms. Hearts. You can find me just about anywhere as Ms. Hearts. I am also on London by Gaslight on Thursdays as Eveline, who is a lot more like Cadence's here. You can also... Should I say it now, or do we want to leave it at the end? Our upcoming shows this week? I will also be hosting The Darkest House tomorrow night, a one-shot in a haunted house. So hopefully that goes well. This will be my first time I've ever been the storyteller in any sort of form. So wish me luck on that. And then on Friday, if you are in the Austin area, I will be performing at Tits or Treats, a burlesque show with the Batshit City Bombshells, on Friday at the Sterling Events Center. And I have more stuff coming up. Follow the link. And if you need graphic design or promotional products, go to geepopromo.com.
Astrid, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Yes, I was on a stream, but I converted her to a much higher player SBC for a little Discord server, Cajun Nights, which is in the Big Easy, the Bayou, New Orleans. I am a storyteller that primarily focuses on Bahari themes. I do play a character that is a Benehukum Camarilla, and another character that's a La Sombra anti-tribute that's not Sabat, basically has their own cult that ties in with Nordic deities. So yeah, Cajun Nights Discord, we have, play-by-posts, and also monthly we have multiple storytellers in charge of like multiple themes, just have like multiple storylines that, involve all the different storytellers, so there's a Google Calendar, you can sign up. Also this month of October, I have signed up with, God, I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but, there is Stand Up for Cancer, and there is, basically, about a week ago, I did a one-shot with Scry Society, that was teamed up with a, Twitter that, month by month ties in with different cancer organizations to raise money and everything like that. So I'm tying that in with my own Etsy, which is called Wares of Astrid. I have a discount code, which if you go to my Twitter, which is diviner_Astrid, you will see the piece that I'm raffling. If you use that code for 15% off all orders, no, limitations for, order, you can spend $20 on an order, get entered in the raffle, order, and possibly win something that's $100. All the money that you save with that code will be donated, and I also have additional money set aside because I have family that, October, that's like breast cancer awareness month. I have family that have survived that. I have family that's suffered a number of other cancers, and Stand Up to Cancer is really global and doing a lot of things to just really fight cancer on so many different levels. I'm really happy to be partnering with them this month, in the month of October.
Fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. Bully! Eric! I'm looking at the wrong bloody thing.
My name's
Eric,
Bully.
Who are you? What do you do? Do you
my
do things?
channel's
Let's find out.
called Table Goth. Go to our YouTube. All of our stuff's there. If you're going to be at PAX Unplugged in December, or an East Coast person, and I will be there with Gehenna Gaming and Table Goth running Vampire and Dungeons and Dragons, so I can run a game for you. That'll be fun. Otherwise, that's it.
Stephen, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Well, apart from the obvious that I do shiv. So pretty much you'll just find me, I do STA with Shiv about once a month, although slight hiatus from that because of life. Otherwise, you'll just find me around on various Discord servers. So I've been kind of quiet the last little while because with moving and all that good stuff. But I'm always down to try to do new things. I wasn't expecting to do this, but I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's have some fun with it and see what happens. And it's been good. So
Tomorrow, Darkest House with Ms. Hart's storytelling. If long-term viewers will probably see the return of at least 2 characters they know. Day after that, Thursday, we are going into Phasmophobia. Again, apparently it's been updated and changed, so we'll piss ourselves. Friday is the Oxford by Night Halloween special with Astrid and regular cast as well. Saturday is Lancer One Shot with Nitro running that one and various Nitro friends. I say Nitro running that one. Rolling down a hill very fast for that one. And Homeworld, upcoming Rodipius TTRPG with various people, rounding it off on Halloween itself. And then I'll probably kill myself, which will be fun. Live on air!
It's okay. It's an adventure that has all specs in your corner. You don't have to worry about that. We got you, boo-boo.
But tune in on Monday where I'll be killing myself live. We shall go with Raiden on Sunken World Saga, who are playing some unknown TTRPG called Dungeons and Dragons. Never heard of it. But, of course, we can't go until... Cadence says the line.
Being put on the spot. Turn that frown upside down. Positive vibe. Bye.